Beat Invaders is an absolutely fantastic twist on the Space Invaders game. It puts you in like a disco synthwave environment, and it adds along a little bit of a rhythmic beat to the way how the enemies come towards you, but that's where the rhythm action element ends. This is still a classic arcade experience with an upgrade system now added on, and a roguelike element for being able to make your runs better and better over time, and more tricky too. You start off with a ship at the bottom of the screen, and that is you. You get to move left or right, you don't take off from the bottom of the screen, and you will shoot up at the various waves of enemies coming towards you. Those waves are hell-bent on not just killing you, and if you lose all your HP it's game over, but you're also protecting 4 convoys, and these have their own HP too. So, if they're taking enemy fire, they will slowly deteriorate over time, and when all 4 of those explode, if you're still alive at that point, it's game over too. So it's a really zooped up version of Space Invaders with this whole upgrade system behind the scenes. As you shoot and kill all of these different enemies, coins rain down from them, and there's different ways of trying to make more coins rain down by killing enemies in certain orders, or occasionally there'll be a Harrier that will go across the top of the screen which you can absolutely attack, and it will rain down tons of coins for you too. At the end of every wave, you then get a randomised 3 different upgrades for this particular run that you can spend, depending on how many coins you've got. That could be to replenish your health, it could be to increase your firing rate, it could be to improve the amount of fire that comes out from, say, your side weapons that you can unlock over repeated runs, or turrets, or missiles. Or you have this all-powerful like laser attack that you can unlock occasionally as like a special weapon, and you can improve the quality and devastation that causes because it's so powerful. It can almost always clear a good proportion of a wave for you without you having to think too much about it. It's fantastic, and what it does do is it means that as the enemies' odds increase or they become more and more aggressive, you become progressively more capable of being able to fight them off. But the enemies will continue to come, and it won't be that they'll just fire occasionally lasers at you. They'll be chucking mines, bombs, railgun attacks, meteors will come flying in from the sky, and some of the stuff that can actually be helpful for you, and reminding me a little bit of Missile Command, it must be said, are these like missiles that come flying in, and you'll need to collect all 3, 4, 5 or 6 of them and kill them all, so that they can then return fire and kill lots of enemies for you. But it's just as much of a hindrance as it is as a help, because if you don't collect all of those, they'll smash into your convoys or yourself and they cause huge damage. Same with meteors. Friendly fire is on too, so if you start shooting behind your convoy, you're not hitting the enemy, you're hitting your convoy. And more than once did I blow up my own convoy forgetting this trick over time. So just be aware of that yourself. As this all unfolds, you've got an absolutely fantastic synthwave soundtrack going on at the same time. And depending on which difficulty mode you go for, depends on the style of music that you get. So if you go for easy mode, you get some of the more laid back tracks. Normal mode gives you a mixture of everything, and then hyper mode gives you all of the like big beat tracks as you go through the game. And the difference between this, apart from the amount of fire rates that come down towards you and how aggressive the enemies are, is the speed of how the enemies move is related to the BPM of the music. So if it's a slower piece of music, they'll move slower. You're fine and you keep moving at your own pace. It's just the enemy's movements that change. And I like the fact that it's in keeping with the theme of the game, but it doesn't force the rhythm action element onto everything and make it kind of, not arbitrary, but like shoehorning in an idea for shoehorn's sake. And so you can still enjoy the full arcade experience and have a great time without thinking too much about the rhythm element. But what I have to say is that the visuals plus the music plus the gameplay all synergize together fantastically so that you're really in the moment. And if you've got like a proper power vocal synthwave song going on and you're like, laser time! I was proper getting into it and it was great fun to be had. When you die, rip, you will then get access to your upgrade screen, depending on, assuming that you've got enough credits from your run to do so. And this is where the kind of long-term appeal of Beat Invaders comes in, because you then get to unlock additional weapons, side weapons, missiles, shields for your convoy, replenishment for not just your ship but the convoy. The convoy can then start to have lasers on that blast out a wave every X amount of seconds or X amount of BPM. So it all really goes together so that you can then go further and further and further in the game. And this isn't an endless game. There is an end boss here, and the waves are the same each time. So you really are going up against not just the game itself, but also the online leaderboards for where you position overall in the game against other players too. And I like that, because this could have been one of those games where you just keep on going for the highest score or whatever. There is a defined endpoint here where you are going up against everyone else in an extremely equal field. But you'll need to upgrade your stuff to get there, because there's very little chance of you being able to get there on sheer skill alone. I had an absolute blast playing this game. I'm so glad that I randomly picked this up by accident, and for its price point, it's currently on a 10% discount at £3.59. It is easily, hands down, buy straight away. It's one of the best arcade games that I've played in the last couple of years. Can't say much more better about it. Go buy it, go buy. Written review will be over on higherplanegames.com. Don't sleep on this, it's fantastic. Bye-bye. Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a completely independent media outlet supported by people like you. The goal is to create the best possible content that cultivates a richer indie scene for games as well as music and entertainment. To find out more and to get involved, visit patreon.com/Higher Plane Network. Your support makes all the difference, and in return you'll gain access to bonus content and downloads. Thank you for watching.